Hello, welcome back to Billy Ho Sports. We are coming out with a Kentucky Derby 150 update, leaderboard wise, after several stakes races. Pretty much the month of January, as far as the preps go, are done. Next weekend is going to be the big weekend at Gulfstream Park for the Pegasus World Cup. And then we'll get back into the Derby Trail with a huge month of February lined up. We're going to be reviewing all the contenders from such races as the Smarty Jones, San Vicente, Pasco Stakes, last Saturday's LeCompte. I got a special bonus on the Louisiana Stakes we'll jump into. We're going to break down some races, maybe do some recent news because these guys are getting ready to make their next run, a lot of the major ones. And we'll finish off with a stock up, stock down segment after some of these guys have started their 3-year-old seasons. Like I said, mark your calendars next Saturday, the 27th of January, Gulfstream Park. I've already got the Pegasus World Cup Invitational main event preview out. Check that one out. As always, the playlists will have 2024 Thoroughbred Horse Racing, 2024 Kentucky Derby Trail, easily to assist you finding videos. So anyway, I've got more previews coming out for the World Cup this week, probably the turf and the Philly Mare turf, and some of the other ones will stagger along. So sub to the channel, smash like, set your notification bells, and in the comment section, tell me where you would now rank Track Phantom after his second stellar performance at Fairgrounds Park. Where does he rank? Is he now a top 10 Derby contender? Is he up there closer with the Muths, the Locked, and Fierceness? Or is he just, another one of those flash in the pans? Let's go. Okay, we're going to kick off the show by starting with the Louisiana Stakes. Saudi Crown put on an absolute clinic, a show for all the fans in his tune-up. It would basically be what I would compare a 1 seed versus a 16 seed in the NCAA tournament. Saudi Crown could have competed. He had an invite to next week's World Cup, but chose this one as a tune-up because he's heading overseas to Riyadh for the Saudi Cup. So he didn't want, I guess, they wanted to go ahead and get the race out of the way. Anyway, he went out uncontested, dictated the pace as predicted, in hand most of the way. Jockey Florent Giroux kind of shook him up a little bit down the stretch and let him cut loose down the stretch, and he just let up about with a 16th to go and cruised home to victory. It was a pretty good performance. The odd part about it is I think National Treasure is going to race in the World Cup next week, and he's going to Saudi Cup. So it's just, trainer and owners making different decisions for their horses. So anyway, that was the Louisiana Stakes, Saudi Crown. Kicking it over to the main event there, the LeCompte Stakes, worth 20 points to the winner. The rematch, Nash actually took over the favorite right at the end. I believe he went off at even money. And then Track Phantom went up to 7-5. So the race broke pretty good, predicted. Track Phantom rushed right to the lead. Another clean, beautiful break by that horse. Horse can get out fast like that. It's a very, very good sign that this horse is mature. So swiftly breaking to the lead. Opening half mile just went right around 48 seconds, maybe just a tick over. Mild pressure, really not a whole lot. Nash didn't really press too hard until 3 furlongs to go. Then he started pressing. Track Phantom was still being hand-ridden until we hit the stretch. And then Rosario took a peek to see where his rival was at and then just rattled him up a little bit. And he cut loose increasing his advantage to 3 lengths coming home. And Nash was no match once again. About 2 3/4 length victory. Nash did keep on. I'll give credit to Nash. He's not like a horse that just bows out or fades. He doesn't seem to weaken. He's just not as fast. But you got to have the fractions in your favor a little bit better than that. But Nash kept on for the place. Lat Long gamely finishing in third. Ethan Energy actually took on some money. I think he went off at like 7-2 odds or something like that, but showed his lightly raced. He should improve in his next race. He got off to a slow start, a little bit of rough trip action, but weakened down the stretch. So he's got room for improvement. But I did like the way Lat Long ran. I was curious to see how he would go. So that race is in the books. Track Phantom is your victor convincingly once again at Fairgrounds. Not sure where he'll go from there, but we'll keep you up to date. Rewinding back to New Year's Day, we kicked off the 2024 season with the Smarty Jones Stakes at Oaklawn Park. Catching Freedom was making his third career start for trainer Brad Cox. Faced a pretty strong field of 9 horses. It was a mile and a 16th. Clean-ish break. Mystic Dan, Just Steel, and Fidget broke out to the lead. Catching Freedom was pretty much unhurried, saving ground on the inside. Lagainos moved up to the lead. Opening quarter, increasing the pace. Catching Freedom, saving ground the whole way, inching closer. Jockey Christian Torres, actually, when they hit the stretch, swung him just a little wide and lost a little ground, but quickly got him straightened out and hustled him down the stretch, where he was able to collar Just Steel and Mystic Dan for the win. Just Steel held strong for trainer Dwayne Lucas, but Kenny McPeak's Mystic Dan faded to 5th. Both Informed Patriot ran pretty well. He was steady mid-pack the whole way, made a pretty good rally to get 3rd place. And then Gettysburg Address showed some rally to improve his position. Informed Patriot for Steve Asmussen looked the better of the two, in my opinion. So over to January 6th, we go out west to Santa Anita Park. Fans were treated to the return of Bob Baffert's strong Derby contender Muth, was making his 3-year-old debut in the Grade 2 San Vicente. Muth faced that was a pretty formidable field of 6, including his stablemate Pilot Commander, and then a Slider trained by John Sadler. Slider and Pilot Commander both set the early pace. Muth was closely tracking in 3rd. Muth made his move with 3 furlongs to go, swung 4 wide, hit the stretch driving, was able to move past his 2 rivals with ease for the comfortable win. I thought Pilot Commander faced a heads-up battle for second with Slider, but was able to hold on for place. He looked strong. That was just his 2nd career start, so plenty of room for improvement for Pilot Commander. He did break his maiden first out. So anyway, I'm pretty much ashamed. I think it's going to be a separate video. I had started on this rant about Bob Baffert being suspended from the Kentucky Derby once again for reasons that are really iffy in my book. And it's really a shame that he's going to miss Derby 150. But that's a story for another show. Slider was making the switch from turf to dirt. Looked like he took to the surface pretty well. I think he'll continue on his way for trainer John Sadler. He overcame some early trouble at the start, but kept on willingly to round out the trifecta, and he did just miss the place. So those 3 horses look like they're pretty much still in line to keep going on the trail. Then we go up to January 13th, Tampa Bay Downs, the 7 furlong Pasco Stakes. Bookham Danno went all Hawaii 5-0 on him and came in with a 3-1 record, showed why trainer Derek Ryan is so excited about this colt. He came from off the pace and this might be I might be exaggerating a little bit, but the move looked a bit like what Mage did in the Florida Derby last year before he was corralled by Forte late in the stretch. But he did make this huge move around the turn and just absolutely took this race over and run away and hide style, eye-popping 12-length victory. West Saratoga was an also ran second. Bookham Danno went off 1-9. That was really, I didn't see that coming. I thought that he was somewhat vulnerable, but evidently not. So anyway, judging from what has transpired in the last 2 months, obviously Track Phantom's stock has spiked after those 2 impressive outings at Fairgrounds. I think I'm buying into Catching Freedom. I like the way he stalked the pace and closed. That was in a 9-horse field. 4 rivals were 8-1 or less. Bookham Danno's 12-length romp moves him up the board as well. Definitely buying in there. Muth gets a bump with his impressive victory because he faced some pretty good competition himself. I'll also buy into Pilot Commander on his second start, running pretty solidly versus some tough Derby contenders. I'm going to give the stock down slightly tick to Nash for a second effort where he was still good, but not nearly as good as Track Phantom. So he's going to have to improve if he's going to be a legit Derby contender, in my opinion. But he's still got plenty of time to reestablish himself as a dominant candidate. Another one, which I didn't cover in this video technically, but Risk It has disappointed terribly in his last 2 races. 4th place finish in the Jockey Club, 5th place in the Gun Runner. So stock down on Risk It. Stock down also on West Saratoga. Didn't show me much in the Pasco either. I don't foresee this horse going the distance. So we're going to close out the update with some truly sad news from the Brad Cox barn. Drum roll, please. Suffered an injury this weekend. The winner of the Jerome Stakes is off the Derby trail. Will probably make his return sometime late in the summer, hopefully, anyway. But anyway, that'll all do it for the show today. Stay tuned for more horse racing content. Obviously, next weekend's big weekend for Gulfstream, but then we hit February and we've got the upcoming Derby prep races, a bunch of them, as you can see behind me. I appreciate you saddling up with Old Billy Ho. And until next time, we'll see you soon.